Oh, you are to oh, you
Welcome to the Brother to Brother Talk. I'm Mark Carvin, old Managing Director of Midwest Minority Think Tank, and it's my pleasure to once again host this episode of Brother to Brother Talk. We're going to do a special thing tonight. We're going to recap this evening uh, several topics that we've gone over for the last 3 weeks, and they won't go away. And so we want to revisit them and bring everybody up to speed to what we've been dialoguing about in terms of brother to brother talk and preparing uh, the solution driven dialogue that we hope will catch fire in each community. It's not that we are an entertainment group, and that's part of the reason that I've chosen tonight to review what we've been covering so that we can all be able to move forward with this particular agenda, and that is a solution driven dialogue. There's much going on in our country, that's going on in the world, but we cannot excuse ourselves from the participatory role, nor can we excuse ourselves from looking at the global picture and not just allow the narratives to drive us away from those things that are important to us. Of course, the election has taken a lot of attention and a lot of oxygen out the room. But when the election has been completed, there's still day-to-day issues that we have to contend with and day-to-day issues that we have to deal with. And many of those issues have not been addressed by either party. And so the momentum will be left up to uh, individuals such as you and myself, and to create platforms whereby we do not allow the momentum to cease simply because of campaign fatigue, and that whoever comes out victorious, um, whenever that is declared, that we still have to contend with the issues of the inculcate or the attitudes of the people. So we need to have some attitude adjustments that go across uh, our nation and throughout the land. And we want to remember that we can't allow others to shape our agenda and those things that subsequently affect our lives and our families. And so we cannot allow ourselves to slip into a false sense of security, a false sense of miraculous change is going to occur. We have to keep up the uh, creative tension, to have our issues dealt with forthwith. And the best way to get your issue dealt with is to set forth a solution. And that's what we mean by solution-driven dialogue at the Midwest Minority Think Tank. And also, as we go into the brother-to-brother dialogue, that it has to be a dialogue. It can't be a monologue. It has to be a dialogue. And we have to get people to understand that we are not going away, but we're also proposing the strategy that you have to deal with the solutions. Everyone understands the multiplicity of problems that we have to deal with consistently, but let's put a multiplicity of solutions before the decision makers and force them to have to choose how to deal and when to deal and what to deal with that are solutions, as opposed to an aggregate of statistics and documents and studies and over the problem and throwing money at a few agencies as if that's going to somehow appease the people. And when the dust settles and the few dollars are spent, there's still going to be that need to deal with the issue and the problem. And so I encourage you to, as a as a brother, member of the community, if you have a solution and you want that solution set forth, you can contact us and contact me at the numbers across the screen, the emails across the screen, scrolling across the screen, looking for a platform for your solution. Here it is. It's called Brothers to Brother Talk. And we're looking forward to sharing your opportunity to bring a solution because there is a dearth for solution. So don't think that your solution is not vital, it's not needed. No, no, bring forth your solution, and we'll be glad to give you a platform here at Brother to Brother Talk, so we can get your community involved, your state involved, your region involved, and most of all, get people to talking about solutions. We really have to move in that direction to get people to talking about solutions. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll come back and we're going to start in on some solutions we want to set forth related to police brutality. This is Brother to Brother Talk. We will take a break and we'll be right back. I'm Mark Carvin Olds, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. We'll be back with more solution-driven dialogue on Brother to Brother Talk.
PremiumBeef.com.
Welcome to the free audio rendering of Not Without Scars 2. Such an insightful and impactful work must be accessible to the countless number of people living similar life experiences. Becoming a best-selling author pales in comparison to creating a tool capable of instilling hope in a multitude of people trapped in the valley of decision. My greatest profit comes in helping others emerge victorious over their life struggle. My goal is to encourage individuals to follow their dream. My message: you must never quit on your faith, pursuing your aspiration or vision. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take a moment, invite your family, friends and acquaintances, and enemies to listen to this work chapter by chapter. It is free to listen as well as free to subscribe. Peace, love, and phenomenal blessing.
How do I write my life story? I know hurt and pain. I don't like either one, whether physical or emotional. Herein contains my story, Not Without Scars, Part 2. Optimism, perseverance, persistence, resilience. 2 decades of personal struggle. Optimism. I faced the new millennium with hopefulness. Perseverance. My ego, my humble beginnings, my desire to achieve never allow me to turn away from a difficult task. Persistence. Opposition should be anticipated as an effective strategy to victory surfaces. Resilience. Difficulties do not automatically spell termination. Scars reveal my imperfection as reminders of past episodes of pain, sorrow, or triumph. Scars can tell beautiful story endings or relay misery that wishes to remain anonymous. This work is meant to help others who have experienced decades of struggle. When struggles appear to never end, you must get through the night and face the challenge of a new dawn with fresh hope.
Welcome back to Brothers to Brother Talk. I'm your host, Mark Carvin Olds, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. Our first review is dealing with police brutality, and we know the shootings that occur, but also there are a number of cases that result in death and harm that are not necessarily shooting. George Floyd was not shot, but he was brutally murdered. So when we talk about police brutality, we know the statistics and they are alarming. Nearly 3 people are murdered each day or die each day at the hands of the police in some form of a shooting. And that's not to mention the other instances that result in bodily harm. But the solutions to this, let's start with the dissolvement of the police union. Why do the police need a union? They're there to protect and serve. They are employees of the city. So why do they need a separate union? And uh, why do they have arbiters when the mayor or the police chief fires a, a what they would call a rogue or bad apple in the police department? It's he or she may be reinstated through arbitration and through the union. And so, who has the most power over the police department? The mayor of the city, the public safety director in some instances, the police chief, or is it the union? The military uh, has soldiers all over the world, but there is no union for the soldiers, and there should not be a union uh, controlling the municipal police forces or even county police forces for that matter. And so a serious look at the dissolvement of the police union is one step uh, in bringing an end to the police brutality. And that's important because then each person then becomes responsible for his or her own action. And there is then the law is the only course that they have, and the union has gotten more powerful than the law. The rest of the citizens of this nation do not have a union to protect them. So until we all are bound by the Constitution and the laws of the federal government and the state, then there is no need for a separate enforcement originating from a police union. Next, I would propose as a solution that the funding that comes into the from the federal government goes into the states rather than a militarization of police department. It would go in the form of salary. So no matter what city or state that you are in, all police officers would make the same salary and be hired by the same standard. This would not be the militarization or the federalization of all police force. They are already connected through the internet and police use of computers and data banks that they call them, and that's fine. So it would not be something that they're not already engaged in. And the reason it would be then the military again is the example. You if you are the federal government employee, so if you're a GS 12 or GS 10, whatever rank you all get that same pay regardless of what part of the world that you're residing. And so that uniformity of salary would eliminate some corruption, and it will also bring about responsibility. No union and uniform of salary would move people into accountability. And where it's possible, the city council should look at making the police chief an elected official, so that then there is an independence from the police union. So the police chief should be an independently elected official. The dissolvement of the municipal police force and utilize the county sheriff department, they interact, and so if there is no municipal police department, but a county sheriff, so when we say dissolving the municipal police department, we're not talking about removing law and order agents. The county sheriff serves that same purpose. So if you have just one department, it would be such a relief on the budget of municipalities. Now, if you're hearing what we're saying here, the federal government having subsidized the salaries, removing of so many different divisions in terms of municipalities having to have retirement funds and all of it, then becomes a county operation. Then more money can go to EMS, and more money can go to schools, more money can go to hospitals, more money can go to mental health issues. And so that's all part of what happens when we learn to divert our resources away from one entity which is bent on enforcing by incarceration. And so that's an event that we have to look at. And then we need to take away the immunity from the county prosecutors. You can impeach a federal judge. You can impeach the president of the United States. You can, but you cannot impeach a county prosecutor or solicitor or district attorney, whatever they may be called in their region of their jurisdiction. And then this would lead to them doing a more diligent prosecution based on evidence, and the police would be then responsible for presenting more conciseness in the evidence that is presented. And also then we need to define defunding police departments, what that really actually means, and how that can work. And I've explained some areas that it worked in. And so that's part of the solution-driven dialogue that we're looking at in terms of what we can do about the police department. And so we'd love to hear from you, love to hear your thoughts on it, on Brother to Brother Talk, because you may have a solution that are totally different. It's not about who has the better, who has the to be heard with the solution. The idea is we have to start to talk solutions as opposed to just talking problems. The problems are there, and until we produce solutions, they're not going away. So until we begin to dialogue as diligently about the solutions as we do about the problem, we will remain in this catch-22, constantly highlighting the problem, but doing minor work in terms of producing the solution. We're going to come back and with more of this abbreviated version of Brother to Brother Talk. This is Brother to Brother Talk. We will take a break and we'll be right back. I'm Mark Carbon-Knowles, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. We'll be back with more solution-driven dialogue on Brother to Brother Talk.
Beef.com.
Welcome back to Brother to Brother Talk. I'm Mark Carbon-Knowles, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank, and we're recapping some of the items that we've gone over the last several weeks on Brother to Brother Talk. We spent a great deal of time dealing with the police brutality, also the political impact, and we want to share just a few things. We need a 21st century political strategy. The campaign is wrapping up, but there's going to be a 2021 election. There's going to be a 2022 election. And so how do we hold people accountable? Once again, it's by producing solution driven dialogue. And the creative tension is to get people to sit down, sit across from us, and exchange ideas and concepts. But that can only go so far until we put solutions on the table. When we put solutions, then it ceases to be just a review of the statistics, and then it becomes, let's hammer out the specifics of the solution. And when we get to that point of hammering out the specific of the solutions, we find that things move forward. And that's why in this special edition, we're making our platform available to solutions. So we're appealing to you, brothers and sisters, compile your solution. There is a platform for your solution, and it's here at the brother to brother talk. And we want to deal with the press for leadership. The leadership can't be just in personalities and popularity contests. The press for leadership will come when we're putting solutions on the table. And now you have to vote on the solution as opposed to voting on the personality. And we have to know what to expect for a future strategy for the Black community. And these things can only be brought forth when we cease to be manipulated by the continual rhetoric of the problem, the continual outpouring of statistics, of studies. I understand the academician standpoint, but there has to be the solution-driven dialogue in order for us to realize the change that we have, that we desire to come to change our neighborhoods, change our community, and achieve equality, and to feel that we are part of a society that is worthy of our contributions, and that we are appreciated and accepted. And so the political impact, we need a new strategy. We need a strategy that deals with our solution rather than a strategy that deals with parties or individual personality. Now, I want to conclude with we talked about the criminal justice piece of we need to have a felony conviction detriment review. I mean, once a person we're not talking about eliminating crime. We're talking about once a person has completed the sentence, all the mandates of the sentence, and then the felony conviction should not be the scarlet letter for our generation, for our nation, that keeps a person from being able to protect their home, because a convicted felon can't even protect his or her home, because it's almost an automatic 5-year sentence to have a weapon. So you become vulnerable for life, even in the simple thing as a man or woman protecting their own home. Then there's also the collateral sanctions that prohibit you from getting certain licenses, qualifying for certain positions, and the fact that if you've been convicted of a crime, your application is almost immediately, if you check that box, you are being ruled out of the potential for employment. We want to have a nation where people are not persona non grata because of their past actions. We believe that there can be forgiveness, restoration, rehabilitation, and whatever the term might be. But we need to have solutions to all these areas in order for us to have an interdependent, peaceful society. Because without that, it becomes a breeding ground for rebellion. And we are talking about the need for interdependent, peaceful society. And however we get there, We have to get there through our theology, our cultures, our sociology. Uh, we cannot continue down a path that excludes millions of people from the pursuit of happiness and liberty in their lives and in their community. And so, Brother to Brother Talk is a platform that's open to you. And on this special occasion, uh, we want to make it available to you. The scrolling across the screen, the phone number and the email address that you can contact the Midwest Minority Think Tank. And we want to hear from you. We want your solutions to be made known. And with that, we can move the solution-driven dialogue ahead. I appreciate you allow me to share this time with you this evening, this special edition of Brother to Brother Talk, as we are looking to have more and more solutions. So once again, the phone number as it scrolls across the screen is 216-785-0757. And the email address is there as well, that you can get in touch with us. We want to hear your solution. So we want you to be a part of the solution-driven dialogue. Once again, I'm Mark Carbonell, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank, and I appreciate you allowing me to share this time with you, and I look forward to hearing from you with your solutions.